Hey guys, I'm back once again. It's Tyler Adams again. Please call me Bacon Boy. So sorry about that, you guys, but my storage was almost full, so I had to delete a large amount of apps. I got an alert for it. Anyways, to continue off with what Kinderpretpark Julianatoren's cute little mice mascots known as Jules and Julia need. Well, anyways, let me start all over from the beginning. So let me go back to the 60s since the video cut off the ending on me. So with the 60s, and before I forget to mention this part, this involves music genres that a lot of musical groups inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame did, this is what a lot of them did, and 60s music, once again, that's acoustic jam, classic jam, acoustic rock, and classic rock. Those are examples of 60s genres. Again, Jules and Julia, the two adorable and cute little mice mascots of the children's theme park in Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, located in Apeldoorn, the Netherlands, need. That's what they need. Again, to help you not forget about them in the previous video I recorded, well, I bet you're able to remember all the information I put down in the first one, lasting about 2 hours, which I'm hoping it would reach. But since my battery ran low, I got it on a charger. And I do not think it will keep its balance, so I'm gonna have to try my best. Alright, and now, again going to the 70s music, which would involve a blends of two different genres, where people wore 70s wigs, those are the disco years. That's what the 70s was all about. So for the 70s music, what Jules and Julia need, well, they're gonna need the different fusions from two different types of genres. So they'll need examples like funky R&B. They'll need disco funk, disco jazz, soul funk, soul jazz, and disco soul. That's what they need. That's what Jules and Julia need. Instead of this doing the same old dance moves to the same old boring children's songs all over and over again and again. Within Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, they need a break from that, right? That's what they need. Jules and Julia work way too hard in doing that kind of stuff, They need something different in their life, something they never heard before. And they're gonna join me on this part. Anyways, moving on to the 80s music, right before the previous video cut me off, well, for the 80s music, this will involve more examples of different music genres. So it could be 80s hip-hop, 80s rap, 80s pop, like electro pop. It could also be glam rock, that the 80s would be considered a decade where everyone had big hair, And you know, artists like Prince, you know, a lot of people in their younger years grew up listening to his music, you know. But anyways, you know, I'm still in the same day, you know. This could even involve 80s girl group music, 80s boy group music, you know. And then that's what I'm referring to, you guys. Or you can even use electro dance music, you know. 80s synth pop, 80s synth dance, you know. I could never forget to add those in there. That's the kind of 80s music they need. And again, Jules and Julia, the two adorable and cute little mice mascots of the children's theme park known as Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, located in Apeldoorn, the Netherlands. Well, that's another kind of music they need in their life, you know, different music genres. They'll need that. They really do need that. You know, old school music. I believe it would be appropriate for them. Even though I'm not old school and I don't look like an old school person to you, you know, I am young at heart, and I believe using that type of music, it's more appropriate than the music with explicit language, you know, like curse words, cuss words. I'm not allowing it. Not gonna allow it. However, this is gonna be rated PG, so you may want to do something to keep your children safe, because, you know, I am gonna involve two different George Michael songs. You know, and the first George Michael song, it's gonna be "I Want Your Sex." However, there are two different parts of the song where George Michael he did add the word pornography twice in the song he wrote. However, if there's an alternative, if there's a better alternative word to it, which I can set aside and not use in front of older children, let me know what better word than pornography, which George Michael added to his song "I Want Your Sex." In the song, you know, well, you know, I'm not gonna do inappropriate things like how George Michael did it when Jules and Julia are dancing with me, you know. Well, you know, in a big city, not within Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, where I hold my new YouTube video project of the future. Not planning on doing it within the theme park. And I have no plans on going on any of the rides either, because, you know, I really don't care about going on them. You know, I'm too old for them, but I am never too old for character meet and greets, you know, like I mentioned in the previous video. Anyways, if you don't mind me using the word sex or pornography in the George Michael song, "I Want Your Sex," I really love to know how many of you might get used to it, how many of you don't like it at all, you know. However, if you want it to be rated PG, I could use the word pornography and sex in George Michael's song "I Want Your Sex." And another George Michael song I'm gonna use, well, it's gonna be Freedom 90. Well, you know, in one part of the song, George Michael does use the A word. It's spelled A-S-S. I'm not going to say the actual word. It's too inappropriate, guys. I'm not going to say it. However, if there's a better word to replace the A word, the cursed A word, or the cussed A word, or the sweared A word, to think of a better word that can replace it in George Michael's song Freedom 90, because he does one part of it is, in one part of George Michael's I Want Your Sex, he does use it in the chorus part, and in another part, and in two other parts where he uses the word pornography twice. Well, it's gonna be found in these two lines. One reads, "What do you consider pornography?" Another line reads, "What do you call pornography?" Well, you have to watch out, guys, because some of the songs I'm gonna use, well, they are a little inappropriate to young children. However, this should be aimed more at older children, However, since it's also rated PG, once again, since it's rated PG, I will not use the A word, the cursed A word in the George Michael song Freedom 90, because in one part he does say shake your ass. Well, you gotta think of another word that can replace it, guys, because that word I'm not gonna use in front of Jules and Julia. But however, since I am planning to make this rated PG, well, quite a few rated PG movies. Well, since this one's going to be rated TV PG, well, quite a few rated PG movies, they'll use the word sexy instead of sex, But however, in rated PG-13 movies, they'll use sex. They'll use the word sex, and in rated PG movies, they'll say something like sexy. Well, rarely will you hear the words sex and pornography in rated PG movies. Well, however, you will hear the word pornography in a rated PG-13 movie. Most rated PG-13 movies. So it is going to be rated PG. Rated TV PG. Sorry about that. Rated TV PG. And guys, once again, I'm not gonna be doing inappropriate things when Jules and Julia are dancing along with me to those two George Michael songs. However, the only thing I can make them do is a shimmy while I'm using those words. You know what I'm talking about, guys? Like a shimmy shake. I got that song from the Wiggles when I was a little boy. It's like a shake of your shoulders. That's what you call a shimmy. I wouldn't do anything too inappropriate, like where I put anything near where parts where they aren't allowed, Well, they're not allowed in TV PG videos, and that's more of an adult thing, And I'm not gonna involve any parts where one touches the area where it's not allowed. I'm not gonna do that. It's too explicit, Not gonna allow that. The only thing I'm gonna stick with when I'm using those two words George Michael used in one song, except the more cursed one in the other, well, those are the only two words I'm ever gonna use when I do the shimmy, and well, with the third one being cursed, I won't use it. So think of another word to replace it. And if you don't want me to use all three of them in those two different songs at all, and want it to be G-rated, think of a different word that could replace sex and pornography, which George Michael used in his song "I Want Your Sex." Anyways, I'm gonna move on to the 90s. So here we go. So an example of 90s music genres. Well, actually, Freedom 90 is supposed to be a 90s song and not an 80s song. So I Want Your Sex by George Michael is an 80s song. Freedom 90 is a 90s song. So I don't know why I would consider both of them 80s songs. However, I am suffering from confusion, Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give you some examples of 90s music genres. Well, again, that they'll use a different type of synth pop, a different type of synth dance, a different type of electro pop, and a different type of electro dance. Well, those four genres which I added into the list of examples used in 80s music, which I added on the list of examples used in 80s music. Well, those four genres, they're gonna sound more clear in 90s music than in the 80s one. You know what I'm talking about, you guys? They're gonna sound more clear. Oh, and same thing with 90s hip hop, 90s rap, 90s pop. There's also a 90s girl group music and 90s boy group music. It was performed by artists, musical artists, or musicians, or singers in their teen years, during their teen years. They were in their teens. They did that during their teens, and therefore that completes the list of 90s music genres that Jules and Julia are going to need. Oh, and this will involve quite a bit of 2000s music. This will involve only a little bit of 2000s music. Again, the same four genres which I added to the list of examples in 80s music and 90s music, well, they'll be used in 2000. They were used in 2000s music as well. However, this is gonna wait, maybe that's actually the same 7 genres added to the list of examples in 80s music and 90s music. However, they're gonna sound a lot more clear in the 2000s music in comparison with the 90s music and the 80s music. in the 80s music, they may sound a little, they may sound a little bit scratchy, but in 90s music, only a small amount of scratchy sound effects you'll hear. In 2000s music, there will be no scratchy sound effects. Again, Jules and Julia, the two adorable and cute little mice mascots of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren in Apeldoorn, the Netherlands, they need that kind of music, you know? And also, you guys, however, I am going to use only one song from the 2010s, the late 2010s to be exact. Song is called Good Morning, performed by Max Frost. That's the only 2010 song I will ever use. However, there may be a mild level explicit language in that song, so there's gotta be better words to replace those mild explicit language words in that song. And if there's anybody who could think about better words to replace it, that way it sounds more kid friendly, I would really appreciate it if you do so. And that's the kind of, and that ends my talk of the different music genres that Jules and Julia need. That ends it. So anyways, I did mention being given proper authorization by the employees at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren and taking Jules and Julia out into the community. I really need that. I really need them to allow me that. It's very important to me. It's also important that I use that huge playlist of old school songs with only one from the late 2010s to my playlist. But however, I am gonna need to ask for permission on using them in case there's someone out there who wants to help me create music videos of me singing and dancing to those songs with Jules and Julia by my side. Well, that this is supposed to look or sound something like a copyright thing, However, I do not own any rights to that large playlist of songs that Jules and Julia are in big time need of dancing to. All rights go to the singers and who performed it and the songwriters who wrote it. Or should I say it this way? All rights go to the songwriters who wrote it and to the singers who performed it. However, I'm not going to copy their singing voices either. I'm going to use a different singing voice, make it sound completely different, I'm going to need a mixer. That's what I forgot to mention in the previous video. I need a mixer, to handle that huge playlist for me, which I want to see being added onto the YouTube app, This brand new iPhone XR cell phone I am using right now at the moment. But to protect me from getting in trouble using using these types of copyright things. Well, I hope I'm not infringing on anyone's copyright, you know. I don't own them. I don't own them. What I want is for them to be played off of overhead speakers and amplifiers, you know, in a big city, where there's skyscrapers all around, you know, like tall buildings, you know. But before I get to that part, let me go back to the part where I mentioned Jules and Julia, where I mentioned being given proper authorization from the employees and being allowed to take Jules and Julia out into the community. And I'm referring to the employees at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren. You know what I'm talking about, you guys? It's again, it's located in Apeldoorn, the Netherlands. All right? So I hope you're understanding me on this. Anyways, I don't know why I don't know why it loses its balance on me even. How do I get rid of that little booger? How do I get rid of it? There's nothing I can do to get rid of that little booger. Anyways, it might as well be left alone, so anyways, here's how it's all gonna start out. Well, by the time the director holding the camera, you know, presses the record button, well, on the first day, my plan is to take Jules and Julia to Sassenheim so they can go grocery shopping with me at Albert Heijn, to be the name of the grocery store. You know what I'm talking about? Albert Heijn. It's a kind of grocery store. I've seen it in Sassenheim. However, that's going to be a long drive from Apeldoorn to Sassenheim, you know. Well, as long as me and my YouTube team wake up early, which I'm referring to my YouTube team as the rest of you guys, well, you know, I hope the people working at Albert Heijn can allow me to bring Jules and Julia in. That way they can do character meet and greets with children in different locations, as long as it's far away from the theme park and outside of it as well, you know. And you know, guys, children doing character meet and greets with Jules and Julia from within the theme park, well, that's once as fun, but wouldn't it be a lot more fun if Jules and Julia could do character meet and greets with children in locations outside of the theme park, you know, like far away from it, you know? It would be a lot more fun, you know, because you know, there are gonna come times where people get tired of doing the same old thing all over and over again and again in only one part, one location. Lengthen it a little bit. Well, you know, you guys, look, well, you know, there's gonna need to be more things done about that. That way I can tell more improvement is being made. Oh, And as long as Jules de Mouse is wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit, he should be good to go. Because, once again, Julia de Mouse wears her pink shoes with her regular outfit, so why can't Jules de Mouse be more like Julia de Mouse? Once again, guys, think about it. Come on, help me out. Look, I will tell you again, there's nothing fun about Jules de Mouse walking around barefoot. I like it better if he wore his giant sneakers with it. And again, I don't want to sound mean, but, you know, Jules de Mouse walking around barefoot, it's not cute. It's not cute at all. It's a big time heartbreaker, you know. An extreme big time heartbreaker, you know. He's only, and look guys, he's only cute when he wears his giant sneakers. You know, guys, he needs to wear them with his regular outfit. And I hope you're hearing me out on this, all you employees working at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren. So, anyways, you guys, look, well, you know, anyways, I already got day one down. However, I still need to add some more stuff to it. Well, there's gonna come a time where we might need to take a lunch break. So I need to involve a caterer, you know. I really need to involve a caterer in serving me something for lunch. Oh, and like I mentioned before in the first video, I don't want to see any mascot heads removed in front of me. That means I don't want to see Jules and Julia's heads taken off in front of me, because if they're going to eat lunch, I would appreciate it if they do it in an area where I cannot see it. I really want it to be out of my sight, because by the time they walk out that front door, that main entrance door, I want to see their mascot heads remain on. And once they're out of my sight, they can take them off. I will not go out there until they put the mascot heads back on. You know, the people inside the Jules and Julia costumes put the mascot heads back on, you know. And by the time they reached the front door, main entrance door, I want their mascot heads to remain on the whole time in front of me. And I say this because it's not my job to see the person inside the costumes revealed, or their names revealed either, you know. And also another reminder to the employees of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren. Well, you know, one time when I was watching part 4 to Jules and Julia en de vlucht naar het verleden, which means Jules and Julia and the flight to the past in Dutch. Well, there's 2 parts of it where Benny Dom, he dresses up as Jules de Mouse going on stage, except that he wasn't wearing the mascot head or the white character gloves that go along with it. The only thing he wore to make himself look like a mouse is a nose painted black, whiskers painted black, a mouse ears and a mouse ears headband, you know. To me, I did not like that part. I did not like part 4 of Jul en Julia en de vlucht naar het verleden. Once again, which means Jules and Julia end the flight to the past in Dutch. You know, part 4 of that episode I watched on YouTube, it could have been banned, you know, it could have been forbidden. And you know, a child who is of a younger age than me, you know, any child of a younger age than me should not be allowed to see those 2 parts of part 4 to Jules en Julia and in de vlucht naar het verleden. I'll tell you one last time, means Jules and Julia and the flight to the past in Dutch. So they were not for me to watch, you know, because Benny Dom, the second crook at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren of the Jules en Julia TV series, Dutch hit, famous and popular children's TV series. You know, what could have been included was the mascot head and the gloves to the rest of that costume, which represents Jules de Mouse's regular outfit. And therefore, showing only the human head with the nose painted black, whiskers painted black, well, together on the face, and mouse ears headband, a pair of mouse ears headband on top of his head, along with bare human hands. Or wait, maybe Benny Dome does wear gloves, actually broken gloves, where it only covers the palms of his hands. Well, you know, that part of Jules en Julia en de vlucht naar het verleden, again meaning Jules and Julia and the flight to the past, part 4 of it should have been banned, like forbidden, you know. That's how it should have ended up, because getting children involved to see something like that being recorded on camera and right before it's uploaded onto YouTube, well, children should not be allowed to see that. It's not appropriate, guys. And that's the reason why I don't want to see any mascot heads removed in front of me, you know. Like I said before in the previous video, it's not my job. It's only the employer, employee, manager, or director Jeroen Buter of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren's job to do that. They're the only ones allowed to do that. I as the boss don't want to see that during lunch breaks. Because Jules and Julia, I'm meeting them in real life. Like, I want them to appear real to me, you know? You know what I'm saying, guys? I hope you understand the meaning of this. Anyways, enough talk about that. Well, for day 2, I plan on taking them to this one museum located in Gouda, the Netherlands. This one museum, it's called Gouda Cheese, Gouda Cheese Experience. Well, you know, since Jules and Julia are mice, you know that cheese is their favorite snack, right? Well, I've seen it in cartoons, you know, when I was a little boy. However, I would like to be allowed to give them a tour of Gouda Cheese Experience if only the people working there will allow me to bring them inside, you know, And I hope the people working at Gouda Cheese Experience will hear me out on this, you know. That they're mice and cheese is their favorite snack. You know that, right? And after that, by the time the tour is over, I plan on taking them to this one factory where they make the cheese. It's located in Volendam. It's a bit south of Gouda, you know, and it's called Cheese Factory Volendam. You know what I'm talking about? Again, if only the people working at Cheese Factory Volendam allow me to bring Jules and Julia inside, I really appreciate it if they could allow that. Because I don't like being denied, you know. I really want them to accept it. And also for day three, I plan on taking them to another museum which has to do with a different type of cheese, you know. And it's located in Edam. And the name of this museum is The Story of Edam Cheese. Again, Jules and Julia love cheese since they're mice. And it's their favorite snack. Again, if only the people working at The Story of Edam Cheese will allow me to bring Jules and Julia inside, I will tell you once again, I'd be appreciative they let me do that, if they could let me do that. And I'd love it if they allow me to do that, you know. I do. I really do. But anyways, again, I'm hoping not to be denied. And every day for the whole entire 22 days, which is how long my new YouTube video project of the future is going to last. Well, you know, guys, I want to see Jules de Maus wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit. I want to see him do that day by day, you know? It's got to be day by day, you know? Because, again, I don't like seeing him barefoot. Makes me look terrible. And this has to make a comeback. It needs big time improvement. And really, it does. Anyways, I'm going to move on from the first 3 days because on day 4, I plan on taking them to this one very special place they never visited before. It's located in Venlo, and it's a car wash. That's right, a car wash. It's called Combat Autowascentrum. That's the name of the car wash I'll be taking them to. However, I'm not going to stay inside the car while it gets washed. You know, on YouTube, this one Dutch YouTuber known as Leon Gerards. Well, he's been recording YouTube videos where he got permission to get out of the car and watch it get washed. You know, this car wash consists of 7 brushes, you know, and it's also got rollers that push the car forward, you know. It's a tunnel type of car wash. It's not the in-bay kind of car wash where the car remains in one place and only the machine is allowed to move, you know. Well, you know, I want to introduce Jules and Julia to this car wash, which I watched on YouTube, Combat Autowascentrum in Venlo. These 7 brushes, they are blue and yellow in color. It consists of a total of 2 short side brushes, 4 tall side brushes, and 1 top brush. They go in the blue and white diagonal striped pattern. That's the kind of design they have. Oh, however, there's gonna be more to that than what I went over, than what I discussed. So to me, I would like to introduce Jules and Julia to the different sounds a car wash makes. I bet they'll be interested in that. Again, as long as Jules de Mouse is wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit, he should be good to go. And I would like it a lot if he was more like Julia de Mouse, because I am in fear of the employees denying me from seeing Jules de Mouse continue to walk around barefoot while in his regular outfit. And I hope the employees don't tell me that. I don't want them to deny me from seeing Jules de Mouse wearing from seeing Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit. That's my big fear, like I mentioned in the previous video, which cut me off when it wasn't supposed to. So anyways, you guys, I will get started on the part where I make the sounds of the car wash machine in that tunnel with the rollers that push only 1 rental car forward. Let me see. Wait, hold on. Wait, since it's gonna be a new project of the future, I like to be like Leon Gerods, the Dutch YouTuber who did that kind of stuff. Well, I plan on getting out of the car instead of remaining inside the car where the sounds are muffled out. And that's not even loud enough, I want the sound to be clear when by the time I get out of the car to watch my rental car get washed. However, this is only going to involve 1 rental car instead of 2 or more rental cars. So anyways, you guys, I only want it to be 1 rental car. If only there's 1 that gets dirty, and the others, they remain clean, Well, in order to do something like that, I don't even want to worry about drivers behind me waiting to move out of the way along with Jules and Julia, because me along with Jules and Julia will be standing in front of the car wash tunnel entrance, to watch it get washed, because if there's other cars behind me honking their horns along with drivers getting mad, yelling at me to move out of the way, well, I don't want that in my videos. I don't want to worry about that. I want this closed to a project. I want it to be closed to a project, which I mean a new YouTube video project of the future, That's how I want things to come out. So anyways, I will now proceed to the sounds the car wash machine makes. So it's all gonna start off with foam spraying onto my rental car. The next thing to come is the first pair of side brushes, in which that would be the short side brushes, which will start to spin. You'll hear them making a spraying sound where the volume level of it is quiet, but it is audible. It may be quiet, but it's audible. Well, you may hear a small jet of the sound coming from the sprayers that the two short side brushes are equipped with. However, that's gonna last quite a bit of time. You know, it's once again it's gonna make that soft, that quiet jet sound. You know, the water jet spraying sound. It's the something like that. However, when it comes to the part where the first tall side brush begins to spin, you'll hear it making more of a normal volume water jet spray sound once it starts to spin. It's a little louder, you know. Also more audible and clear. Sounds something like psst. Next, the top brush will begin to spin and come down. Once it reaches the bottom, the second tall side brush, which is farther behind the first tall side brush, well, it will begin to spin, and once again you'll hear that psst noise being made. All 6 side brushes, the 2 short and the 4 tall, each and every single one of them is equipped with water jet sprayers while they spin. And once the 2 short side brushes turn themselves off, along with the second tall side brush and the first tall side brush, well actually, first the third tall side brush will begin to spin. The first farthest away, the one farthest away. Again, you'll hear that psst noise. So will Jules and Julia, which I forgot to mention them hearing those sounds as well, as of earlier on, not too long ago. And so the 2 short side brushes, along with the second tall side brush and the first tall side brush already turned off, all you have left are 2 brushes spinning. So the top brush continues to spin while you can tell that the third tall side brush is already spinning. And a little later on, the fourth tall side brush, the fourth and final tall side brush behind the third one, well, not in the same spot as the first tall side brush, but in a spot where it's right in front of it, where it's spaced out between, where it's given space, the fourth tall side brush will begin to spin. Again, one last time. You'll hear that psst sound. And by the time my rental car reaches the rinsing area, the top brush will begin to turn off, while the third tall side brush and the fourth tall side brush continue to spin for a little bit until they turn off after the top brush. Well, actually, I forgot to mention the top brush moving all the way back up to the top. After it turns off, you know, it moves all the way back up to the top without spinning. And after that, the third tall side brush and the fourth tall side brush will continue to spin for a little bit. And after that, immediately turn off. Which will get the final part started. The dryers turning on. Well, to start it off this way, to begin it this way, the first dryer will turn on, and after that, the second dryer will turn on. So by the time my rental car has left the rinsing spot and the sprayers turn themselves off, it can focus on being dried until all the water is removed. And once the first dryer has reached the back of my rental car, it will turn off. And after that, while the second dryer continues to run, it will turn off after it has reached the back as well. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, since that part about day 4 is down, would to mean I've already completed it. Well, for each and every single day, well, I plan on taking Jules and Julia to this one location known as Eindhoven. I tell you, it's a really big city. It's got some tall buildings, you know, like, say, for example, skyscrapers. Well, you know, if only there was someone who can close that city to an event, as long as I'm getting them to dance along with me in a safe non-highway location where there's no cars present, you know. I want to have that chance to dance on the gravel, you know, on the road surface, because doing it on the concrete, which would be the sidewalk surface, that's not enough room, and that's not wide enough either. So whenever I'm getting Jules and Julia involved on dancing with me, it has to be on the road surface. You know what I'm talking about, you guys? It's got to be the surface of the road. You know, the gravel. I'm talking about the gravel. Oh, and also, me along with Jules and Julia, the two adorable and cute little mice mascots of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, again located in Apeldoorn, the Netherlands. Well, you know, me along with Jules and Julia will not be dancing in only one spot. where we're gonna dance from one end to another. And there is quite a few songs on my added playlist which will have an extended version, you know, to keep the party going. That way I could stay up all night along with Jules and Julia. You know, they need parties to last that long, you know. Unlike a New Year's Eve party or a New Year's Day party, you know, it's got to be a party in different seasons, and that's going to be the summer season. You know what I'm talking about, you guys? The summer season. That's how I want things to go. So that's right. I'll be teaching Jules and Julia how to strut down the streets like John Travolta, you know. Again, it's not going to be in only one spot. It's actually going to be me doing a dance type of walk down the street, you know, like, you know, something like that. That's how I want it to be, you know. Again, one last time, not only in one spot. It's got to be down the street all over the place, you know. Dance from one part and going all the way to the other. I say again, not one spot. It's got to be strutting down the streets in a dance to the beat kind of walk, you know, from one end to another, you know, one end to another. Oh, and I think there needs to be a multiple set of cameras, you know, along with a mixer handling my playlist on YouTube, you know, amplifiers connected, and also some speakers everywhere, you know. And I'm also gonna need some spotlights, you know. I'm not gonna involve any rubber mats on the gravel road surface. I want it to be all gravel with spotlights everywhere, tracking me down along with Jules and Julia, depending on where I go, where they follow me to the beat of the music, you know. I've never done anything like it before, and I want that to become a reality. Again, I want to add music videos to these recorded and uploaded videos that were added onto YouTube. You know, these videos I have been filmed in. I want it to cut to that part so that I can be allowed a publication of these videos to become available on YouTube. You know what I'm talking about? I really want them to exist. You know, I really do. Anyways, you guys, what I like to do is give out one last reminder to the employees working at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren. Like I mentioned in the previous video, well, you know, guys, well, you know, I could pay you more money, because to me that's extremely important, you know. I'm really gonna need more time instead of 6.5 hours, you know, more time.
Still doing your video, Tyler?
Of course. I'm gonna need more time. I hope he doesn't hear me. Hope he doesn't hear me. Well, he better be up here for a little bit. Wait, he's using the bathroom. Oh, that's good. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Anyways, this reminder I'm gonna give out to all you employees working at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren. Wait, he's in the laundry room, not the bathroom. He's not in the bathroom, he's in the laundry room. Tell me he's gonna go downstairs. Tell me he's gonna go downstairs. Is he downstairs yet? I think he might be using the bathroom, or maybe remaining in the laundry room. Maybe in the large bedroom. Anyways, to keep it down a little bit. Well, he is anyways, I might as well quickly give you the reminder. Oh, all you employees at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, listen, you need big time improvement. There's a lot of stuff that needs to improve, you know. You really do need improvement. And since I'm planning to make this new YouTube video project of the future last 22 days, I'll pay you 605 euros. And I hope you can accept that because once again, you know, those days of Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers, they need to make a comeback big time. They really do, you know. And you know, and you know, I hope you don't deny me on this, because when I saw you posting a story, a story on Instagram during the Sinterklaas events, well, one part of it showed me that Jules de Mouse's giant sneakers were being used for children to put candy in there, you know. And I'm telling you once again, like in the previous video, using Jules de Mouse's giant sneakers only during Sinterklaas events, that's not enough. Bring back those days of Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers. I miss him so much, you know. And ever since you started a new Jules and Julia TV series as of 2022, well, I didn't want to watch them, you know, because, you know, they show Jules de Mouse walking around barefoot. I don't like that, you guys. I really don't like that. And you know, I'm never gonna feel better if Jules de Mouse continues to walk around barefoot, you know. And look, guys, if those days don't make a comeback, my feelings are gonna be hurt, you know. I'm gonna be really hurt, and I don't like being denied these things. I tell you. So, anyways, you did do an excellent job on recording new episodes of Jules and Julia. However, I want to see Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers again. If you could do that for me, I really want you to do that for me, you know? You have to do that for me, and they need to make a comeback, big time, you know? Oh, also, don't tell me don't tell me that Jules de Mouse gave up wearing his giant sneakers permanently. I want this changed to temporarily, you know? And I know it's not my job to expect any changes of the opening hours in that theme park. It's only the manager's job to decide that. Again, 6.5 hours is not enough. And you know, 17.5 hours is too long a duration, is too long a closing time duration. It can be boring, you know. And I will tell you again, when you sent me a message on Instagram, when one of you employees sent me a message on Instagram where the first paragraph followed by a blank line and the second paragraph read, starting with the first paragraph, hi Bacon Boy, my real full first name Tyler in parentheses. I saw you posting about Jules' bare feet, separated by a blank line. The second paragraph read, Jules de Mouse doesn't mind walking barefoot. He likes to walk through the grass with his bare feet. Well, once again, that may be true for other adults, including the children who don't mind seeing Jules de Mouse do that at all. I'm different, and I don't like seeing him walk around barefoot. If only you could bring back those days of Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit. You know, you really must bring them back. You really gotta bring them back. You have to. You really have to do this. Because I can tell you've taken this way too far, and therefore things need... I really want things to run the way they're supposed to be, you know? And look, I really don't like that at all. I don't. I really don't. Because it's a terrible mistake for a mascot to give up a certain type of clothing, you know? And like I mentioned before in the previous video, half of you employees who are new to working at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren do not remember hearing about or seeing Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit. However, the other half of you employees working at Kinderpretpark Julianatoren have heard about and seen Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit. I've heard about and seen Jules de Mouse wearing his giant sneakers with his regular outfit before. Anyways, this ends part 2 of the video. I will be giving a title soon, starting off with the previous one and ending it with this one. Thank you for watching this video again. Like, subscribe, rate, and comment below If you don't like it at all, hit that dislike button. However, I'm only going to need a few of those, a small number of dislikes, and only a large number of likes. Anyways, you guys, that ends it for now. I say to you once again, hope you enjoyed watching this video. I really appreciate you doing so. Thank you. And wait, hold on. I forgot to add something. Oh, you remember the part where I mentioned Microsoft Sam in the previous video? Well, I would also like to introduce Jules and Julia to that. So that way I can help make them feel interested. And you know, they've never seen or heard anything from Microsoft Sam before. However, I did mention this one website where people like myself can feel free to play around with Microsoft Sam. You know, the old, no longer supported text-to-speech voice. Well, I've been hearing him in YouTube videos, in these YouTube videos that I watch, you know, and it's all thanks to Thunderbirds 101. You know, that's his name. That's gotta be his name. It's definitely gotta be his name, you know. That one YouTuber, well, he lives in Canada and works there as well to release new YouTube videos of Microsoft Sam reading stupid and weird signs, which I watch all the time, you know. That's always my favorite part. And therefore, you guys, well, if you're able to cover all the information I discussed in the previous video, I'd really love to see you do that. And also write it in the comments, which are essential. And even though this new YouTube video project of the future is going to be released soon, well, you know, I'm really gonna need comments throughout every video I get filmed and recorded in before uploading them. And most important part of all, being given prior written permission from the managers of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren in being allowed a publication of these videos to become available on YouTube. Well, even though it's prohibited within the theme park, which I'm not planning to do, you know, I'm hoping to be given prior written permission from the managers of Kinderpretpark Julianatoren, and that's very important to me. Important to me, as always, and don't you forget it. Anyways, this is the real time my video should end, and it's already nearing in on me, so it should come for me soon. Anyways, again, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. A lot of you will hit that like button, but quite a few of you will hit that dislike button. However, what I also find important is the ratings, subscriptions, and comments, and also giving me stars and hearts. and money. Anyways, I say to you once again, I say to you one last time, thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you and goodbye.